this is Sally with ItsSallyCares, and we're going to do something a little bit different on a few videos and just see what you think. Being a therapist and being in the patients' homes all the time with them and talking about different topics that bring them concern, I thought it might be fun to, well, at least an eye-opener, that's for sure, to go over some of the common questions that come up, and not to make these lengthy and boring and difficult to sit through. What I thought we would do is just give each topic a few minutes or so, depending on how this goes and how spontaneous I can be, because I don't know. But the person who's going to ask me the questions is the person behind the camera. The talent behind the camera is my daughter, Lauren, and she hasn't really volunteered. I told her that she could do this, and so she was like, me read the questions, and I'm like, okay, you're not the one in front of the camera. So anyhow, it's always the me show in this family. It's always something. But anyway, I thought we could talk about a few different topics. We'll just see how it goes. And the funny part about this is that we came up with this list of ideas of things that people talk about a lot when we were having lunch after church at a food and beer place that we like, and it was funny. And so Lauren said, "Are you going to tell them where we actually made this list?" Of course, because that's where all the good ideas come from. When you're just sitting there and talking and giving yourself the space and the time to think about things. And so, Lauren, I'm going to just say, what's on our list that we came up with?
Okay, Mom. So the first topic that I think we talked about was the challenge of change when your spouse is ill. What are some thoughts and things that you say to your patients when they ask this question?
Well, we probably should put on a timer because I don't want to overdo it. And we're going to set a limit to how long this is going to be because I don't want people to just get tired of listening.
I'll wrap you up.
Okay, she'll tell me to be quiet. She loves to tell me to be quiet. So when people are diagnosed with a disease, and it's a partnership, it's a relationship, it's a marriage, it's whatever, everything takes a second to sort of assimilate what that information is. Let's just say, for example, someone has been diagnosed with cancer, or someone has been diagnosed with kidney failure, or someone's been diagnosed with a heart condition, or someone's been diagnosed with something that changes their ability to run life as usual. It's interesting what happens in partnerships or marriages especially, because everybody gets a little bit angry at first, I think. They get sad, of course, sadness is right there. But then people, when they start to see their required behavior change, meaning the wife or the husband, what their new jobs and responsibilities are, what their frustrations and limitations are, it's kind of like they take a back seat to the person who's not well. And that's okay for a while. But then after the person has been ill for a while, the caregiver becomes relatively tired of the whole situation, meaning that they feel like they've lost a piece of themselves with the diagnosis that their partner received. Normal, typical, you can't help it. This is just, life has changed. That's the bottom line, life has changed. So we have this little phrase that this physician that I work with, Dr. Gill, that he has said when people are diagnosed with Parkinson's, for example, because that's his primary diagnosis he works with, you don't diagnose one person, you diagnose two. And in doing that, the caregiver ends up needing to be the cheerleader and the doer and the person who's like, well, I've got to stay positive because now the person who's been diagnosed is depressed and all those things. I think the important take-home message is expect change. It's not going to be the same. And that's not a bad thing, that it's not going to be the same, because we all grow. We all learn, and we don't get put into situations that we don't learn from. And it's amazing to see how you can turn that situation into possibly one of the turning points in your relationships that makes your relationship so much better than it ever was before. So my feeling is that we'll talk more about the different kinds of diseases and the problems and back and forth, but keep it in mind that you can become a victor in a challenge when you never thought you could. You can become stronger when given a challenge than you ever thought you could. And my hope for you is that you will see that positive side of the diagnosis and that you will be able to overcome the feelings that you have, the frustrations that you have, maybe not the disease, but you can incorporate that into a positive experience versus a negative one. And that would be my Sally story about that one. Thanks for paying attention to this. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Give me some comments. What kind of topics would you like to talk about? I think we could have a lot of fun with this. So I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.